Hi there, welcome to Crafty Creations by Annis. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, like it and comment. Let me know what you think, and if you really like it, subscribe so that you see more of them. Thanks for watching. Hey there, how are you? So this is a quick video to show you how to make a file folder album. I use the Best Day Ever pocket page paper for this, and it's actually, I have split the packet in two to create two, and I am using the option 1 for the class. I have split it into 2 packs, option 1, option 2. This is the option 1 kit. There were some slight variations. There was a couple of kits that I got down to the end that were a little different, so you may have a couple of different variations if you did get the kit, but you'll have the same amount of pieces to complete it, and you can also just do this with 12 by 12 paper, but the paper that comes that I'm using is actually 12.5 inches. Pocket page paper is 12.5. So for the measurements with this, it's a little longer, but you could totally do it with just 12 by 12 paper. All right, so I'm using a file folder, and if you're anything like me, when I organize, I need new things. It inspires me to get organized. So I like, pretty file folders and to label them and keep them all, it just helps me. So, of course, you can use your old ones and use the new ones to help you organize, but of course for you, I have a brand new one. All right, so this is cut at 6 inches, and then so this is a scrap of the file folder. This isn't actually the whole other piece. The length of the file folder is 11 inches. You could cut it in half and have a double, but that way you then have to cut down every single piece of your paper to 5.5 inches. If you cut your file folder to 6 inches, then you really don't have to cut anything else. And then even if you're using 12-inch paper, you just have to cut your paper in half, and it makes it much easier. If you're using scraps, then it wouldn't matter. But cutting it at 6 inches is going to save you a lot of trouble in the end. So it is 6 inches wide, okay? And then I just have this scrap of paper that I'm going to use to create some tags. So I just have this scrap set aside for right now, okay? So this album really is super quick, super simple. It makes a really great gift. I was thinking even like if you have a friend that goes on a trip with you, it's a great way to give them the pictures that you took of the two of you or of them. It's great to have on a coffee table of pictures of an event. Just really quick and easy. You could put stationery in it, but just a quick, easy album. So what you want to do is, I'm going to take this double-sided paper. Now it is definitely easier with double-sided paper, because you'll see why. It's really simple with double-sided paper because you get half the work to do. So for my front cover, the front cover is, I want this extended piece to be the back. So I want the front cover to be the shorter one, and I want this color with the arrows at the bottom to be my front, okay? So I want, this is my front, and I want this to be my front, okay? But I'm going to move this down. I want this to come to my seam, okay? See my bend in my seam? So to be able to trace this, to make sure it's the right side, I'm going to have to flip it over. So just make sure it's still right at my seam right here. All right, and then I'm just going to trace, this end piece. Okay. Then you get to see the magic happen. So then you want to carefully cut it. And you'll see why you want to kind of spend a little time to be a little bit more careful. Okay, so this is my front cover. Okay, now the piece that I cut here, okay, is going to go on the inside but the other direction. So that's why you want double-sided paper, because if not, it's not going to fit the way, it won't work that way. You have to flip it to the other direction. All right, unless, I guess you could put it on the back if you were going to decorate your back, but we're going to decorate our back differently. You could put it to the back and it would still fit. But that's literally all you had to do was one cut, and then you have your front cover and you have your back piece. Okay, so we're going to keep going, but right now we're going to cut these, stick these down. When you're sticking it down, you want to make sure you have a nice amount of adhesive. You know what, you better actually, let me get, oh, hold on one second, I've got to raise you up a second, hold on. Sorry about that. You score tape. Your score tape will hold it much better. Okay. So you can put score tape or adhesive, but score tape really is sticky, but just score tape or adhesive. Right along the edge. Okay. Probably a little too narrow. I did have a thicker score tape. I'm not sure what I did with that one. All right. Peeling up the whole thing. A little adhesive down the middle. Okay. And stick that right down. And then same thing on this piece. You can use scissors too, whatever's easier for you to cut it. I'm just tearing it. Okay. All right. So that is our back. All right. Now we're going to take our other, now again this is 12.5, but you could do 12" also. And you want to keep this long piece because on the front we only did up to the seam. So on the inside we want to make sure that we're reinforcing that seam. So we want to come all the way along, but you want to come all the way to the edge. And you're going to stick that all the way along. So I'm just going to, now this is actually the front cover of the paper. Go all the way down. Now on this, you want to go as close to the edge, but here you want to get the edge of this, not the edge of the paper. Oops. Inside just came out. That's not good, huh? That was weird. Yeah. All right, let's take that off and put that back. The wheel just fell out the middle. Hold on. Get that back in there. Oh my goodness. Stay. Alright, so on the edge here, I'm going to put it on this inside edge. Okay, and then I also want to make sure I have some along each edge of the seam. Okay. So again, on this left edge, I'm going to do it on here instead, because it has a shape to it, and I want to make sure I get the shape. Okay, I'm just going to trim that a little bit off. I'm going to cut that centerpiece out. That's what happened on my other one. That's very strange. Cut that off. There we go. Okay. Take the paper off. In the middle. And you can use just adhesive or liquid glue. All right. And this one I'm going to put all the way to the left edge. Of course, I use score tape, so it didn't quite go as far as I wanted, but you can't lift it with score tape. So it's staying there. All right. Now, I'm just going to trim off this extra piece. And if it's a little rougher than you like, you can ink it. You can use a little bit of, if you have those little sanding files, you can use those, little nail file. And get rid of the extra if you can't cut it as neat as you'd like it. All right, and like here it's a little lower, because I say with that score tape it is so sticky you can't move it. So I'll show you. Use your distressing ink. And once you distress it, and of course we're going to do more stuff to the book too, but once you get everything in here and you've distressed it, you won't notice it. And you'll be good. Alright. Now you want to make sure you fold it in the center where your seam was again to create that seam. Alright. Just make sure it's closing nicely and not all folding up in the middle. nice good fold. Okay, good. All right, so then your front is done and your inside is done. Okie dokie. Now we need this pinwheel paper right here, and again this is a little longer than your regular paper. We're going to cut off 6 inches. Okay, and we're going to use the other piece there. So the other color is the gold. Okay. We're going to use this on the front, and we're going to use, actually I'm going to use this one. Yep, okay. So this one we're going to get a card border. Now you don't have to use a card border. If you don't have any Kiwi Lane templates, you can just do a straight line across. You know, let me show you just without a template, because I know not everyone has a template. If you don't have a template, I recommend you cut at about probably, what do we have, 2, 1.5, probably about 1 3/4 to 2 inches for this part. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to go with 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 inches. And again, if you can totally use, if you have Kiwi Lane, you can use a, can't pick it up here, over here, can't get it, a border. You could just use a border and decorate with a border. But I'm going to do this as if I don't have any Kiwi Lane templates. So you could do a border, okay? And we are going to use this right on our front cover. But actually, we'll hold on to that for a moment. We're going to use this on the inside. And on our back cover, we're going to stick this right in the center on the back. Go ahead and ink it really quick. Actually, I'm sorry, I want the gold side. You can use the red, but I definitely have the red folder. I want to use the gold. Okay. Now this one we don't have to worry about the score tape. It's not going to have the pressure that the other one had. Okay, and then I have just a little title for it saying, "Be happy for this moment. Be happy for this moment is yours." Again, all the paper packs that we purchase now have journal cards in them, so this is a great way to use those up. And I'm just going to center that. Okay, so that's our back cover. We're going to come back into the center, and now we're going to grab our scrap. Okay, we're going to make 2 tags. You want your tags to be 3 inches wide. I already have my scrap, but you want your tags to be 3 inches wide by 5 inches long. So you want 2 3 by 5 inch long pieces. So you can do this from a scrap of file folder or from cardstock, but you need 2 3x5 pieces. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to clip off the corners because we want to make them tags. So then just to clip, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can use this as a guide so that they match, if that works for you. Okay, so we have, oops, see, better off doing it without it. Actually made me go crooked. All right, so I have 2 tags. Then what you want to do is with your tags, you need to fold the bottom over about a 1/2 inch. You want to go thick enough for your tape runner. Now, again, I have the score tape here, which is really thin, but trying to get it on that thin is really hard. So you just want to give yourself enough room to move. So about a 1/2 inch. And then I am going to use the score tape because I say the score tape sticks really, really well. Okay. So 1 and you want to go just close to the edge here and then close to the seam edge also. And then when you're also with your crease, fold it both ways so that you've got a nice crease on it. Okay, then the easiest way to put it in your book is to actually kind of hold your book up, and you're going to stick it on the inside here, just close to the top, not all the way to the top, and against the seam. All right, so if you hold your book up, it makes sure it doesn't go too far over. Okay, then the second one is going to come halfway down the first one to there. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to create a pocket on this side and to cover up our tabs. So we're going to use this other piece that we cut. Okay, and again, here I'll show you my other sample. So the other sample, I did use the border. So here I'm just doing it as if we don't have a kiwi lane border, and this one I did. Okay. Now to do a pocket, you want to make sure you only put adhesive around the outside edge. And only on 3 sides. Just want to keep that one side open. Okay. So I have my side open here, and then I'm just gonna stick it down, and it covers up my seams, and then I have myself a pocket. Okay, and to go inside my pocket, I have this strip of paper. Okay, again, I want to cut it at 6 inches, and again, you may have a slight variation of this strip. You should have 2 strips of paper, and one is for your tags and one is for your back for this. So it doesn't matter too much which one you use, but you should have 2. All right, I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. So one will be 6 and one will be 6.5. Again, you could use your regular 12-inch paper, it doesn't matter too much. Then I'm going to use the chevron side to cover up my hole at the back here. I do like the blue paper, so I'm going to come more into the yellow. I like this blue. Okay. And then with this, I am going to, I have another title card, but what I'm going to do is I want to be able to put a photograph on here. So I'm actually going to use this side of it. Let's see. That side. On this side, I should put it on this side. No, it doesn't really matter, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down to just the words because I want to leave enough for a photograph. So I'm going to cut it down, just cutting the words off of that card. Okay. And now I'm going to ink the edge. And stick this. And again, it doesn't matter too much what side you do it on. I am going to do it on the chevron side. Okay, and then you have room here for a photo, and that's going to go right inside my pocket. And now this, you just have an extra piece. I'm going to hold on to that for now. All right, now you have another long strip. You want to cut that into 4 3-inch strips. So you're going to bring it to 3 inches, and you want to cut 4 of those. Alright, which, because I have the extra length of paper, is actually going to give me, I am going to use this to hold on to that. We're going to use these for our tags. Alright. So we are going to stick these down. You're just covering your tag, and where it comes over here, you're going to just trim that right off of there. And on the back side, now I left mine that I had both blue sides, and then I had the other one gold. So I had a blue tag. Now on this one, I do come forward a bit because I want to be able to, it to be able to close. I don't want it too close to that seam. Give it a little bit of room. Okay. Okay, and then this one, I'm going to do a gold one. Whoop. Trying to get close to the edge. Making a hot mess here. Okay. What's the matter, pumpkins? What's the matter? Alright. So then we have our tags done. Alright. Now we're going to make a pocket on the back here. So I have one, again, you could use this different size paper, but in this kit I have this 6 by 8, and I want to use the arrow. And I want to make it big enough that it would hold things into a pocket without it being too thick that it's going to cover up everything. Whoa, I went crooked there. Okay. So I'm about 2.25 inches. All right, and I'm gonna stick that in here. And what I'm gonna do with this is I'm just gonna stick some adhesive down this left side edge and around the bottom, because then when I put things in, it'll allow some room to expand on this edge. So the inside edge and along the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to put that right in here. All right. Make sure I'm very good. All right. So then we have our little pocket here, and I can even put my little scrap right in here. This one is something you can use this as another pocket at this end. You can put it in here and use this for putting a, like a ticket, a photo, whatever you want to use it for. But that is scrap. You can also use it for decorating if you have like tiny highlights, which has, let me show you. Has little camera, has little arrows, little photo corners. These are great for decorating these books. You can use the scrap for decorating. All right, then we're just about done. So let's see what we're going to still do. I want to do the front cover. All right, so I have this little scrap I'm going to use. I have this I'm going to use. So I'm going to stick this down and I'm going to ink it. Okay, then I have this little scrap. And then this particular one, I have this card right here, but you may have a couple of other, you may have a card that says Our Everyday Life. There's a couple of different journal cards that you may have in there that you may prefer. You can pop this up too if you wanted to put this on pop dots to pop it up a little bit. That's going to go right on the front. All right, so also with, you're going to have some extra cards. So you could give it as a gift empty like this for them to put pictures in, or you could add pictures. These little cards are going to go in the back here. These little journaling cards. Memories start here. Great idea. So that you'll have a few in there, or again, if you have a scrapbook kit, you can cut out some of the little cards that comes with it and just add them to the different pockets. Now, if you wanted to add more photo cards that you had, you can use some of these to decorate, to tie in. So if you just added some of your regular cardstock, you can add these to the bottom of your photos to tie them in, or just use this as a photo mat. And again, they can also go in the front, so you have the front pocket also. Okay, so that is it. That's simple. Simple, simple. All done. And again, you can do an inside layer. This is a summer book I created. Let me pull you up a little bit. This is a summer book that I created actually with Susan Budge on the cruise. This one has 2 layers, both at 6 inches. So you can, it has the little pocket back here. So you can really create some, this one, this little pocket, you can create some fun stuff, but they're very, very easy. So again, all you have to do is 12 inches, cut your paper at 6 and 6. You're going to put the first page up to the seam, trace it, then the other piece will go on the back right here. Then you want another piece that's going to come all the way along, coming from this front edge all the way along to reinforce that seam. And then you're just going to fill in whatever gap you have with a scrap, and then just start building your pockets. You can build your little tags, and then just use your pocket to cover those up, and you're good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gives you some inspiration and ideas how to reuse and recycle some of your file folders. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.